As you can see, I'm very angry. Uh, Before I get into the aggravation and the very irritated state that I am after watching this game, my name is Chris. I do Flyers content here on YouTube, from game reviews, podcast episodes, not epicodes, whatever that means, watch parties, all of that stuff. You can find that all here on the channel, all Flyers related stuff. Hit that subscribe button down below if you like this video. Yeah, so whatever this, like, oh my god, this game is so aggravating to me. And I actually just got a text from a good viewer who watches my channel a good chunk of the time, Howard from Florida. He texted me and said, "Don't blow a gasket filming your video." There was more, but that's all I'll read. So, Howard, I appreciate it. I'm going to blow a gasket. Just letting you know. So, the Flyers lose this game 5-2 to the Montreal Canadiens at home. On home ice to the Montreal Canadiens, who quite literally are worse than the Flyers. And again, the Canadiens, who in recent years have, we played them in the playoffs and all that stuff. They've done some things, went to the Cup final, and now they're rebuilding. This is a winnable game. Like, again, I'm not the type of person with the Flyers this year that's like, oh, they should be losing every game for Bedard. Like, no, I don't believe in that, and really in any of that stuff. It's just stupid. This game was winnable. You're coming off of a road trip where you went 1-3. You didn't really play great. You blew the third period last game. You had a really good win on Monday against Calgary, and then you come home for a game. You play tomorrow against New Jersey on the road, and you have this. Like, whatever this is what happens. And for me, this wasn't just the Montreal Canadiens. No, this was the Montreal Canadiens without Brendan Gallagher, Caden Gooley, Cole Caulfield, Carey Price, Paul Byron, Jake Evans, Arbor Jacki, Sean Monahan, and Yuri Slafkovsky. Like, how? Like, they have no one. They had literally no one. And two guys, Chris Tierney, and I believe how you say his name is Yevlon. They get their first goal of the season. Like, is it me or does that happen every single time the Flyers play any sort of game where either somebody has their first game with the team or their first NHL goal or, first goal in however many months? Like, it doesn't matter. It happens all the time. And this is the most aggravating stuff watching this team, because I look at that last month of January and I'm like, okay, there's something to build here. Like, there's clearly something to build here, because, again, you saw progress, you saw effort, you saw games where they won, you saw goals, like, you saw all that stuff. They went 8-4-2, 44 goals scored, right? They had some good moments with goaltending, they had a couple hat tricks, all that stuff, right? I did that whole video breaking it down. Like, and now you have whatever the month of February is. Like, I'm not even going to go into this game because Justin Braun playing wing alone should really be the answer for you watching this. But anyway, let's just look at the month of February so far. Just starting off with the first game back against the New York Islanders, where the Flyers scored 1 goal in a 2-1 loss, beat the Edmonton Oilers in a shootout, only scored 1 goal in regulation in that game, 2-1, they win. Lose 2-1 that next game against Nashville. We did the watch party here on YouTube. They only scored 1 goal. Then they lose on Sunday 4-3 to the Kraken. Then they lose 6-2 to the Kraken again in Seattle. Then they lose 6-2 to the pitiful Vancouver Canucks. Then they end up beating Calgary, scoring 4 goals in that game, which is the first time they've done that all month so far. And then they lose the other night to the Oilers in a game where they really should have won, blew that, and then they have whatever this stink of a game is against Montreal, and now you have New Jersey again tomorrow. So my thing is this. This doesn't get any easier for this team. You have, like, whatever's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, right? The deadline is next Friday, right? You have all of that stuff. You have New Jersey, you have the Rangers, you have Detroit, who's playing better, you have Tampa, you have Carolina, Pittsburgh, Vegas. I mean, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to, right? And that's just for the rest of the season. This is the most aggravating stuff that I watch sometimes. Because I really wish we could just see some consistency with the team. You know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating losing games like this. Like, just breaking down the goals. Starting off with this game, Savard scores, and it's the longest shift, like, ever. And this isn't even the first time this has happened this season alone, where some Flyer, or, it doesn't matter who it was out there for a long period of time. Remember the game in December where Ristolainen was out there for like 4 minutes at one point? Well, this happened again where Lawton and D'Angelo were out there for almost 3 minutes the entire time, and Savard scores in tight where Farabee got maybe 3 inches of the puck out of the zone. Like, you have to get it deeper than that. And again, this is Montreal. Again, without Gallagher, Slavkovsky, Gouli, Caulfield, Price, Byron, Evans, Jackeye, and Monahan. Keep that in mind. 2-0 Canadiens. Tierney scores. And it's just like the simplest thing. If I'm Cam York, I'm looking this way, and Tierney's coming the other way, and he's right there, and he's wide open. It's a slam dunk at the side of the net. Like, again, it's the simplest things. And since the All-Star break, they have completely lost that. Completely lost it. And now you go into the second period, you had some looks, right? And then Allison tries to get, some stuff going. He fights. Then they give him an instigator. Well, he gets an instigator, but Sanheim gets taken down like it's nothing before that in the first period, no call. Tippett gets tripped up. I messed that up. He gets Tippett gets tripped up. Make that a little easier for you. They don't call that. So then they score again, 3-0. Provorov, it deflects off of his stick. Suzuki pass in front, went for Anderson, went off Provorov and in. So it's like, all right, whatever. It's 3-0. This game's over. I'm sitting there. I'm screaming, cursing out of my mind. And it's just, it's all the time. Really didn't do much in the second period. They go into the third. 8 seconds in, you get a goal from Owen Tippett off of a beautiful shot. His 17th of the season. He's on pace to get like 25. 22 games left. He needs 8 more goals. It's certainly doable. That's one of the only positive outside of Frost with 2 assists and Tippett end up scoring. I mean, it's not like really the goal at the end mattered, but again, you get my point. So look, it's just after that they had the chance from Frost to pass and tight, and then it's 4-1, and then Anderson again wide open, stripped behind the net. It's just like the simple little things that have literally hurt this team for the past 3 seasons. From 2021, 2022, and now 2023, it's the same stuff all the time. All the time. It's the same goals. It's the same breakdowns. It's like, like part of me, again, I have never been more frustrated in my life watching the Flyers than I have been in these last 3 seasons. Because again, I have only seen this era of Flyers hockey, the Drew era, from the first year he was captain 2012-13 up until now. This is my 10th season watching this team, and I'm really starting to feel it if you haven't noticed. It just gets so old. So old watching like the same things over and over and over every single night. And it's like, you knew. Because my thing is this, and the reason I'm so mad is this. Again, the Canadiens having no Gallagher, no Slavkovsky, no Gouli, no Caulfield, no Price, no Byron, no Evans, no Jackeye, and no Monahan. And again, 2 guys get their first goals, right? Yada, yada, yada. And the Flyers just look horrible. Absolutely horrible. Like, why? Why can't we have that mindset? And the Canadiens were up 5-2 with 30 seconds left, and they're pressing at the net. Like, we were doing that, and now we're not. I don't understand why that is just gone. I really don't. I really have no answer to it. And as I was looking at my notes, I got a text from a viewer who watches the videos. And so you're probably wondering to yourself, you idiot, didn't you already say this before? Yeah, I did. I forgot that I mentioned it because I recorded this video about 9 times. Because the other times, I probably cursed through it. Subscribe to the channel, Howard. He said, don't blow a gasket filming your video. Life is too short and this team is unhinged. There was a little more to that message, but I won't read the rest of it. Howard, I think I have blown a gasket, so I do apologize, and I do appreciate you at least reaching out. But again, it's just little things that really aggravate me watching this, because there's more to this. Like, and again, no, I know that people aren't going to agree with this, but I don't think the Flyers are really that bad. Like, from what everybody makes it out to be, it's like, I think we genuinely have some. First of all, they have legit talent. They have legit guys that can play. It's just consistency and adding more of the high level talent. They have everything else. There are some other things clearly they have to add. If I actually sat here and went through everything, but I think everybody gets my point. But again, when you on home ice, coming off of a road trip, when a team like Montreal, who was really bad on the road outside of their last game against New Jersey, and again, didn't have 9 players who make up a good chunk of their team, and you still lose at home, that's the annoying part of this. So, that's all I got. Thanks everybody so much for all the support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And you just have to hope that they come out better tomorrow against New Jersey, because that's really the only thing that I could hope for at this point, because with 22 games left, this season has flown by, but with 22 games left, the deadline in a week, this Flyers team's probably going to be looking a little bit different. I don't see much happening at the deadline, but a little bit different. It is what it is. We'll see. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Again, remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks everybody so much for all the support, and I will talk to you all again soon.